So after learning Python basics, some of which includes variables, data types, functions, conditionals, and loops, I got to understand that there's a whole control flow that is governing Python that we can basically use to like make Python act better in a way that we want it to act, because originally Python on its own, it will run code from top to bottom just once and that's it, right? But there are certain tasks that would like to perform a number of times or in a particular way, and we can actually do this, right, using control flow. And there are certain statements that we can use to affect this. So it's basically telling Python what to do, how to do, when to do it, and even how many times to do it and the conditions governing this. So if Python were a person, the control flow would simply be like it's common sense, but then we have to teach it, right? Okay, so let's start with the if, elif, else statement. So these statements are basically used to make decisions, and they are also keywords. So whenever Python sees it, Python knows that we want to like make a decision or make a comparison. So after each keyword, Python expects us to put a condition for it to follow. So let's get started. I would simply go on and add a few more cells, and then let's start with, let me just come here and okay, and I would paste it here, but okay, let me just make this, I would make this markdown. So I'd come here and change this, make it a markdown, right? Yes, I like this. So let's start with if statement, but let me just put example 1, right? Let's consider like a very simple form of if statement. So for an if statement, like I said, all these are keywords, right? So now when I put if, Python is now expecting me to put a condition. So let's say if one is greater than 2, we put our column, right? Then print true, right? Then would say else. Also pay attention to the syntax, right? And the indentation. So else we would print, what are we printing? We'll print false, right? So enter. And then now what do we have here? We have false. Why? Because 1 is not greater than 2. So let me change this 1 to 3, right? So if 3 is greater than 3, print true, else false. Let me run this, and the output is true. Why? Because 3 is greater than 2. So let's quickly look at an example that shows this better, right? Including the elif and else statement. So we're simply going to try to categorize the age of a person. So I have already copied the conditions. Let me paste it here, right? Okay, let me make this example 2. Why am I always putting, let me just leave it like this. Okay, example 2, I'll make this a markdown. So now we want to use if, elif, let me add some more cells. So now I want to use if, elif, and else statements to let an individual know like where they belong to, right? Using this category. So now we have a variable here, age. Let's assign 82 now to age, right? Let's assign 82 to age. Now, how can we write our code in such a way that it's going to give us this? So that when someone tells us their age, like we can tell them where they belong to, right? So we'd say if age, okay, no. So if age is less than 18 because the first condition says minor is less than 18 years. So we'd say if age is less than 18, we put our column, we come here, we say print you are a minor, right? Let's put our full stop. So you are a minor. Let's look at the next condition. So now it's going to be Elif. Elif simply means else if. So if age is not less than 18, check for this. Now the next one says between 18 years to 40 years inclusive. So it means it needs to include 18 and 40 inside. So we're going to say Elif age greater than or equal to 18, right? And age, what am I spelling? What am I spelling? And age less than or equal, less than or equal to 40, right? Yes. Put our column and we'd say print, print you are, what am I typing? You are an adult one class. Okay, no, you are an adult class one. Put our full stop, right? Yes. Now, what does the next condition say? We'll go to Elif age. Next condition says class 2 is 41 to 60 years. So go on and say greater than or equal to 41 and age less than or equal to 60, right? We put our column. I would say print you are an adult class 2, full stop. And what's our next condition? Next condition says senior citizen is from 60 years and above, right? So we don't even necessarily need to have another Elif statement. We can just go on and say else, put our column, else we just print you are a senior citizen. Full stop. So let's quickly run through this. So this is what we have. Let's quickly run our code and see what the output is. Mind you, at the beginning here, we, assigned 82 to age. So let's run this code. And what does it say? It says here, you are a senior citizen. Why? Because this age is, well, is greater than 60. Now let's quickly look at this, right? If age is less than 18, you are a minor, right? Next one is adult class 1 is between 18 to 40 years and it is inclusive. So 18 has to be here and 40 also has to be here. That's why we say greater than or equal to. Now, if we say only greater than 18, right? And let's just say, let's assign 18 to each and let's run it. Do you see? The output is still you are a senior citizen. Why? Because 18 does not belong to any of the category. So from up here to here, 18 does not belong to any of the category here. So it simply classifies it to be here. You are a senior citizen. So we have to put this greater than or equal to. And when we run it now, it says you are an adult class 1. So this is basically how to do it. So this is the only example these are the only two examples that I'll be running for the if statement and if elif. There's also nested if, but I will not be doing that here. And then this can actually be used in different conditions to like even grading a result, right? Because grading a result, you have, let's say less than 45 is, fail. Then let's say between 45 to 50 is, let's say a D. Then between 50 to 60, let's say it's a C. Then between 60 to 70, is a B, and then between 70 to 100 is, and A. So you can basically use this code, like, well, not the exact code, but the whole idea of the if, elif, and else statement to also get a system, or like a model where you can grade results. So this is it for if, elif, and else statement. Next is for loop.